What's good, everybody? Back with another Fair Shake review. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Bad Boys for Life. Um, the brand new Bad Boys, the third in the trilogy, finally has come. What I did before going to see this movie, I was like, you know what? Let me marathon the first two, and that way I'll be ready, prepared for this next story. And boy, I gotta say, they did pretty good. Like, I went there with my pops, and he was like, you know what? I think this might be my favorite out of all of them. And I was like, really? Now, me personally, I do think it is a really good entry in there, but I don't know if I'm gonna say like where it places in the mix of all of them yet. But the story itself is pretty good. Like as it was first starting out, and you got to get your setup mini story going on, and that's somehow like loosely connected. And some of the editing choices in the beginning, I was just like, this is it's starting off like kind of rocky, like because like just because they would it was weird. They would like have a conversation about a character, and then like they would end the scene by showing that said character who is elsewhere, and then it'll go on to the next scene. It was like really weird. They did that quite a bit towards the beginning, and I thought it was like some kind of weird editing choices. Like it was almost kind of like, even though there was no like real punchline like this example I'm about to give, but it was almost like kind of when like in animes you would end up like see people talking about a character, then it'll cut to wherever that character is, and they'll be like, achoo, and you're just like, oh, somebody might be thinking about you, like and then it goes right back to continuing the rest of the scene. That's kind of like how it felt like, but it was like at the ends of scenes, and it just felt like even though it was connected, it just felt odd, because it's just like, oh, it just randomly takes you to where they are, and they're just kind of like sitting there contemplating or looking off into the distance, and it was a little weird there. But the story itself was actually kind of cool. It was just a few editing choices towards the beginning that I thought was a little odd, but in the action scenes themselves were also really pretty well done. There's definitely a lot of action in this one. And I feel like it was they really tried to take advantage of the fact that Martin's character is really retired, so they like really tried to show kind of the parallels between the retired life and Will's character is still trying to be out there getting it in, and then you just kind of see this revenge plot coming to fruition, and just seeing, like, I was actually surprised how quickly things escalated for the antagonist of the film, because I was like, oh snap, they're just gonna go right at it like that. That's insane. And then even just seeing how quickly that they went after our main characters was also like whoa. I didn't expect them to like just straight off the bat, boom. It's like you already know that they're gonna get through, like the main characters are gonna get through what ends up happening, but it's still kind of surprising that, oh snap, they're gonna go ahead and like go there. And that, I think that does a really good job of showing the threat of the bad guys in this, because they are so, like, the main guy is really efficient at what he does, and it was interesting seeing them try to create a new storyline for them that kind of makes sense, like where they can you could really feel that they're trying to pass on the torch and even give more background behind these characters that you're able to get to know through the first two movies. Because everything that's connected to this third movie is stuff that has never been touched upon. And I feel like the way they tried to do that does somewhat take away some of the development that they've had in the past movies. Like, I feel like some of the things that, you know, that changed the character, yeah, some of the things that changed the characters in 1 and especially 2, I feel like they kind of were dismissed a little bit, and I almost thought they dismissed Gabrielle Union's character, which is from Bad Boys 2. I thought they almost like completely dismissed her completely, but they did end up addressing it just through words. It would have been nice to still see her return and reprise her role, especially since it would kind of make sense in some of the scenes for her to be there. But, you know, whatever, she's not there, she's not part of the movie, even though I thought it would be great to have her in it, but it is what it is. But what really comes down to it is story, and the story is really cool, and the twist at the end, I was actually spoiled, though I didn't quite understand. I misunderstood the spoiler, to be honest, until like it happened, and I was like, oh, that's what they meant by this spoiler. But the twist itself was, you know, you as time goes on, you can kind of make the connection that, oh, that's kind of where it's leading. But the jokes that they allow Martin to have when it comes to the twist, since it comes at like just like boom, and then you get to know the reasoning behind the antagonists, like you know, what they're trying to do, when you get to figure out their motivations and their background and connection to the main characters, like the jokes that they allow Martin to have when it comes to that were just perfect, and the best part was like really summed up on the plane. And yeah, it was great to see a lot of the humor throughout here. They really allowed Martin to really get in his comedic bag, and it was great to see him back on screen, since, you know, it's been a while since he's, you know, been in the limelight like this. And Will got to get a couple of jokes and stuff in there too, but it's really a lot of the supporting cast that I feel got to really show how they could add to the humor and even possibly take over, because with the Ammo Squad, it's interesting to see this brand new team that's going to be, you know, taking care of more of the big city crime in Miami. So good to see Vanessa Hudgens again and doing a role that's actually cool again, because I know she's done a couple of things, but I didn't like her roles in this, but in this one she did nice. Even though it was a very small role, hopefully if they do decide to continue this and also like pass the baton over to the Ammo Squad, I would love to see it. But yeah, really good. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, it was a great fun ride. It's not gonna be anything that's gonna like be like, oh my gosh, this is cinema. But it is going to be an entertaining watch, and I would definitely recommend seeing it. And yeah, that's basically it. So, much love, peace.